Yeah, there are a lot of problems that Eskom is facing. One of them is that they're cracking down now on illegal electricity connections. Today, officials set their sights on Wallacedene, which is an informal housing settlement in the eastern suburbs of Cape Town. Now, the power utility loses millions each month because of illegal connections and has warned of consequences if community members are found to be connecting illegally to the grid. eNCA senior reporter Ayesha Ishmail has been tracking the story. She put together this report.
Eskom loses billions of rand every year due to illegal electricity connections and damage to infrastructure. Officials say they are forced to cut the illegal supply because it leads to major outages. I'm now joined by Eskom's Promise Goluba, senior manager. Why did you choose to come to Wallacedene?
All right, we decided to come to Wallacedene after 2 months of being inundated with a backlog of high power outages volumes for the Western Cape. As you know, that we're going through winter, and as a result we get a lot of workload happening from that time. So in the past 2 weeks we've managed to lessen out the load on most of the areas. However, we've just noticed that in Kraaifontein we keep generating more and more work on a day-to-day basis, and the workload is not coming down. So as a result, we deep dive to have a look on why we are continuously seeing our customers complaining for continuous power outages. When we checked, we found that they are impacted by high volumes of illegal connections impacting or related faults in the area, and as a result of that we decided to make this day today to come and do the disconnections. And as we came, we did pick up that they somehow managed to identify big sources of supply of electricity into their informal settlements, and this is what we are going to be disconnecting today, the source that they are using to supply themselves with free electricity. Just to give you an example of what is happening, just behind me here you can see the source with the black big cable that is coming onto that pole with the grey box. 3 of the black cables are supposed to go into 3 houses, but because of the illegal connections, because of the informal settlements at the back, you can see the spider web that's connected there, now powering more than 3 houses. I'm losing count of how many houses are connected there. And if this continues, eventually you will expect an explosion that will occur on that grey box. And when that happens, our paying customers are going to be experiencing extended outages without electricity. And this is why we now need to correct this to avoid the further revenue loss, as well as the unsafe condition that this has created for the community, especially with children that you can see on the streets, because we've seen a lot of fatalities come out of this.
Now, we also heard that there's been a major outage in the Ceres area, particularly in Witzenberg. What happened there?
All right, so in the early morning of today, we lost one of our major substations called Witzenberg in Ceres area. They did some, I think there was an intrusion there, and as a result, they did some theft and vandalism of the substation, and this resulted to the entire area in Ceres, in some close by nearby towns, going without electricity. What they targeted was the small cables, and you can see the spider webs I'm referring to there. It looks like a spider web here, but those cables are the ones that are powering the equipment that delivers power to the towns. So when you see cables like this here, you must know that there's a town that has no electricity at this point in time. So Ceres is impacted by that. They took those small cables to be able to go and do further damage in connecting themselves freely and getting free electricity from our network.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Ayesha Ishmail, Cape Town.